Welcome to the July 2025 Water Resources Outlook. In the southeast, we saw the third named tropical system of the Atlantic hurricane season and plenty of tropical moisture. Nicole, Aaron, and myself are here to tell you about where we saw rainfall and how it influenced stream flows and what we can look forward to through the rest of the summer and the remainder of the year.
Thanks, Shelby. Over the last 30 days, most of Georgia and South Carolina, as well as parts of southern Alabama, had below average rainfall, while the rest of the southeast had above average during this period. Parts of Florida recorded over 10 inches of rainfall, as well as north-central North Carolina. This is primarily due to tropical systems that went over these areas over the last month. The least amount of rainfall observed during this period was less than 1 inch in east-central Georgia. Other areas of low precipitation observed include the Piedmont area of South Carolina. Similar to last month, almost the entirety of Alabama is above or near normal in the 90-day departure from normal. Florida and North Carolina now have more areas with above normal precipitation, and Georgia and South Carolina mostly maintain their status of near or above normal precipitation as well. One notable area of slightly below normal precipitation in the last 90 days is North Florida, South Georgia, and southeastern Alabama. Our year-to-date departure from normal is still showing trends towards positive departures, especially in North Carolina. Again, Alabama has the most widespread departures from normal, with many areas with 4 to 8 inches above normal so far this year. Areas across the southeast still have large areas of negative anomalies, with small parts of Alabama, Florida, and South Carolina above more than 3 inches below normal. The 28-day average stream flow across the southeast shows at, above, or much above normal levels in areas that saw at or above normal rainfall in the last 30 days. Below normal stream flow is still being observed in northern Florida, and some parts of South Carolina now have below normal stream flow as well. Compared to previous months, many rivers have stream flows closer to normal instead of above normal. Taking a look at drought conditions, while drought conditions improved in Florida, scattered areas of new abnormally dry conditions have come up in the last month. However, this is still an improvement from the beginning of the year. We expect to continue to see improvements in drought conditions in Florida as the rainy season there continues. We have now reached week 29 of the year, and we are still in a typical low point in flooding for the southeast. This week, we have a few action stage rises and one minor flood forecast in southern North Carolina and northeastern South Carolina. Over the last month, North Carolina had several river basins reach moderate or major flood stage that was due to heavy rainfall from the remnants of Tropical Storm Chantal passing over the state over 4th of July weekend. The third named storm of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season was Tropical Storm Chantal, which made landfall in northern South Carolina in the early hours of July 6th. Some parts of North Carolina observed 5 to 10 inches of rainfall, while some isolated areas of over 10 inches of precipitation. This caused major flooding in parts of the Haw River and moderate flooding at the Lumber River at Lumberton. Haw River at Haw River crested just 0.3 feet below record flood stage, which was caused by rainfall from Hurricane Fran in 1996. As of this morning, there is a broad low-pressure area over the northern Gulf, just south of the coast of Mississippi. There is currently a low chance of tropical development over the next 7 days. This low-pressure area moved across the Florida Peninsula earlier this week, which brought some much-needed rain to the state and did not cause any river flooding. Though this system is moving towards Louisiana, heavy rain is expected in the coastal areas of Alabama. Be sure to monitor updates from your local weather forecast office for more information on this system. So far in July, there has been some tropical development activity in the Gulf, but these systems have mostly contributed to providing moisture to the southeast and not tropical storms. I will now hand it off to Aaron to discuss the upcoming weather pattern we have to look forward to before we go to Shelby to discuss the long-term outlooks.
The ongoing disturbance that has brought rain to central Florida and along the Gulf Coast over the past few days will continue to linger over Louisiana and Mississippi into Friday. This will bring some enhanced rainfall from Mobile Bay over to the Louisiana Gulf Coast. Rain will continue over these areas into Friday evening as the low lifts north. With a broad area of high pressure nosing in from the east, southerly flow, accompanied by Gulf moisture, will bring hot and humid conditions across the southeast over the weekend. This will result in scattered thunderstorms through the weekend and into early next week. On Monday, we start to see a weak low and surface trough developing over the Carolinas. As this drifts south, increased rain chances are expected for Tuesday and into Wednesday across the northern Florida peninsula from the Big Bend to northeast Florida. You can see these features in the 7-day precipitation forecast, with areas of 3 to 4 inches along the Gulf Coast from the current disturbance, shifting over to the Carolinas with some areas of a couple inches on Monday, and then across Florida with 1.5 to 3 inches Tuesday and Wednesday. Now looking out a couple of weeks, the Climate Prediction Center is currently forecasting near normal precipitation across much of our area, leaning above normal for areas along and near the northern Gulf. And looking at the CPC Tropical Hazards Outlook, they are currently not seeing favorable conditions for areas of development anywhere near the southeast out in week 2 or 3. And with that, for a longer look at the long term, we'll pass it over to Shelby.
Thanks, Aaron, for taking us through the rainfall and tropical forecast for the rest of July. Nicole mentioned the impacts of Tropical Storm Chantal on the southeast earlier, which gave us our third named system for the season. Though remnants of Tropical Storm Barry helped fuel moisture into the southern United States in early July, the first two named storms did not have direct impacts to the contiguous U.S. If another system is to form in the Atlantic, the D-named storm will be Dexter. Aaron discussed that the majority of the southeast may see normal amounts of rainfall for the remainder of this month, but the Climate Prediction Center predicts that the entire southeast, aside from South Florida, will be above normal for the month of August. In South Florida, there are equal chances of below or above normal rainfall, but given that it is the rainfall season there, we do expect some measurable amounts of rainfall in the area. Looking forward to the fall months of September through November, precipitation is only leaning slightly above normal for North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and eastern Georgia. Western Georgia and Alabama have equal chances of below or above normal rainfall for this period. This is due to a transition from heavily influential tropical features to ENSO influences. So September and October are likely to continue leaning into the tropical potential of the season, while late October into November, these chances decrease. Shown here is model guidance for the percent chances of La Nina, El Nino, or neutral conditions. You can see that in September through November, there is not a strong agreement for neutral or La Nina conditions, but when overlapping October through December, La Nina chances slightly outnudge the neutral conditions. The same remains for November through January. The influence of La Nina in the winter would mean below normal rainfall for the southeast in the winter. But with the chances only slightly leaning to below normal, we could see a La Nina with neutral-like features. So, the bottom line, in the short term, we are expecting normal to above normal rainfall to continue, with tropical moisture heavily influencing where and when we see high rainfall accumulations. As we transition from the ENSO neutral conditions of the summer to the fall and winter months, the rainfall pattern may become drier. By the winter months, we may see the return of La Nina, but the features of it could look like ENSO neutral. We'll be back on August 21st for the next Water Resources Outlook for the Southeast.